So, you want to learn how to do line art. Well, first thing is there are many tools in CLIPSTUDIO that you can use to make line art. There are, let's see here. There is a line tool that you can use to make line art with this. The curve tool, or just G-pen or a pencil or a water tool if you can use that. There are many different tools to use, but for this tutorial I will be using both the G-pen and the pencil to show you guys just how malleable did I say that word right? These two are. So let's see here. Let's get this grid out of the way. So let me copy one of these G-pens and we'll make a fresh new line art tool. So you go here, create a copy of this. Now go into your settings. So your settings here, first you're going to want to stabilize the tool. Stabilization, all it does is help stabilize your tool movements. So if I put the stabilization all the way up to 100%, then it's going to stiffen my pen movements. If I put it to 0%, the flow of my pen movements is perfectly free. So let's go to stabilize. I usually have mine like right here, and anti-aliasing, it basically just means like how hard you want the tool. So you can have it like it's like so hard that you can actually see the pixel, or you can have it so soft that the pixels are blended in. Going to go to correction. So you're going to just click all of this, click brush stroke here, post correction, just by speed. Don't really want to touch make corner pointed, because that just makes things look weird. See, if I did this, no, it doesn't really hit it, but yeah, usually when I do it, it makes the corners look funny, so I don't mess with that. And the Bezier curve basically just means it makes your curves more perfect. So as you can see, when I'm doing this, it just makes my curves a little bit more perfect. I just realized that when I was recording that, the screen was like one little sub area of what I was showing, so I have to re-record this. Now vector layers. After you've configured your vector, your tool that you want to use for line arting, you want to make a vector layer. So this icon right here is the vector layer, and you click that and it's going to make this layer that looks like this. This is not a vector layer. The vector layer will always look like this with the little white symbol, with the little white page symbol on there. So when you make a vector layer, it's going to give you different types of options to use for your brush strokes that a normal layer will not. So let's see, if I make a brush stroke here, let's say I put a line through it, and I don't want that line. I can go to eraser, and there will be a vector eraser here. And I can use this to erase that line out. So I don't have to go in and slowly try to erase that and try to make it perfect. Now, if I just want to erase the whole thing, I can. There are different steps to do this right here. Now, let's say if I want to edit. I want to edit my brushstroke, but I don't want to erase it. So we can go here and we can simplify it. See, it's editing, simplifying, trying to simplify that. Or you can connect a vector line. You can pinch the vector line, move it around, redraw it, just anything like this. You can only do this with the vector layer, as I'm aware of. Or you can remove dust. These are things that the raster layer, the default layer, cannot do. Now, let's say if you're drawing and you want to make that perfect line. You do not sketch it out. Sketching is for when you want to make the drawing, and then that's when you trace over it to make the perfect line. When you are trying to make good line art, you try to just go over it quickly like this. Now, if you make a mistake, you can just go into the vector section and fix it. If you want the line to be thicker or longer, you can do so. Or if you just want to easily erase something, but you don't try to erase and take 30 years to erase it, you can use the vector eraser. Or if you want a perfect line and you don't want the line width to vary at all, you can use one of these. Now this is a tool that I got from the internet. I will link in the description if I can find it, like where to get this. This is basically what it is. It's just like this curve, but it's nicer looking. It's got a pointed end. And I don't really use this often just because it's really stiff. Like, if I were to use this, my drawings would be very stiff. But it's good for if you want like a piece where you just want it to look a little bit more authentic than the regular curves, and you can use that. And oh, there's one more thing. If you make a mistake, just erase it. And not by erase by going up here and pressing this, or going up here and pressing this. I mean erase by going here. This is your tablet properties. I have a Wacom tablet. If you have a tablet, your tablet's probably going to have something like this, properties, where you can go into, I don't know about those Chinese tablets, but if you have a tablet like this, usually it's going to have something like this where you can go in and see, like, you can change the settings, because your tablet may or may not have buttons, and those buttons you can modify. And each program has a different set of keys that you would use to shortcut keys to use. So if I go to edit, or just mostly any of these up here, you'll see that they have shortcuts that I can use on my keyboard. But that's going to take time, so instead I use a modifier key on my tablet. And you can go up here and you can press keystroke, and wherever the keys are on your tablet, you can choose what keystroke you want to use. And I use this one for undo. So if I make a mistake instead of pressing this button up here and this button up here, I just click undo on my tablet and it's gone. It makes a quicker process and it makes your paintings and drawings very, very quick.
My Kawaii Emoto, it was a freestyle. Flip that shit for some fans into a lifestyle. Told her I'm not a man, but go ahead, be wild. Snapping pictures like that Kodak, Senpai Black, that shawty know that I'm her lithium, promethazine, and Xanax all in one pack. Want that BBC to tear her into pieces like this Goro. Shawty used to be a saint, now a dentist in